All right, good morning, School of Light. My name is Seferino Beta. We are a nonprofit correspondence study through the mail Bible study system, and we have study and resources for ages 4 through adult. We receive we send it out to you. We receive your answers back through the mail. You never pay for anything. We grade it, we make your file, we add it to your file. Whenever you complete it, we send you a certificate of completion for completing the series. If you'd like to have one of these Bible studies for you or for your children, or for we have also pretty good sized jail ministry through this, then just let me know. Contact us. School of Light Facebook page, schooloflight.org, and my personal YouTube channel. Contact me anyways. Look up Seferino and let me know what you're looking for. All right, chapter 27, Leviticus. Let's hop right to it. The Lord said to Moses, and by the way, this is over redeeming what belongs to God, right? What does redeem mean? Redeeming, in this regard, basically, adjust this real quick. There we go. Basically means it belongs to you and you're getting it back. So, like, say I give you a $20 gift card, but you have to purchase something. You can go redeem that. I can give you an option, a stock option, and at a certain point, anytime before it expires, you can redeem that option. Coupon, same thing. So the Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, if anyone makes a special vow to dedicate persons to the Lord by giving equivalent value, set the value of a male between the ages of 20 and 60 at 50 shekels of silver, according to the sanctuary's shekel. And if it is a female, set her value at 30 shekels. If it is a person between the ages of 5 and 20, set the value of a male at 20 and of a female at 10. If it is a person between 1 month and 5 years, set the value of a male at 5 shekels of silver, and that of a female at 3 shekels of silver. If it is a person 60 years old or more, set the value of a male at 15 shekels and a female at 10. If any one making the vow is too poor to pay the specified amount, he is to present the person to the priest, who will set the value for him according to what the man making the vow can afford. If what he vowed is an animal that is acceptable as an offering to the Lord, such as an animal given to the Lord becomes holy. He must not exchange it or substitute a good one for a bad one, or a bad one for a good one. If he should substitute one animal for the other, both it and the substitute become holy. If what he vowed is ceremonially unclean animal, one that is not acceptable as an offering to the Lord, the animal must be presented to the priest, who will judge its quality as good or bad. Whatever value the priest then sets, this is what it will be. If the owner wishes to redeem the animal, he must add a fifth value to it. If a man dedicates his house as something holy to the Lord, the priest will judge its quality as good or bad. Whatever value the priest then sets, so it will remain. If the man who dedicates his house redeems it, he must add a fifth of its value, and the house will again become his. If a man dedicates to the Lord part of his family land, its value is to be set according to the amount of seed required for it. For 50 shekels of silver to a homer of barley seed. If he dedicates his field during the year of Jubilee, the value that has been set remains. But if he dedicates his field after the Jubilee, the priest will determine the value according to the number of years that remain until the next year of Jubilee, and its set value will be reduced. If the man who dedicates the field wishes to redeem it, he must add a fifth to its value, and the field will again become his. If, however, he does not redeem the field, or if he has sold it to someone else, it can never be redeemed. When the field is released in the Jubilee, it will become holy, like a field devoted to the Lord. It will become the property of the priest. If a man dedicates to the Lord a field he has bought, which is not part of his family land, the priest will determine the value up to the year of Jubilee. And the man must pay its value on the day as something holy to the Lord. In the year of Jubilee, the field will revert to the person from whom he bought it. The one whose land it was, every value is to be set according to the sanctuary, shekel 20 gerahs to the shekel. No one, however, may dedicate the firstborn of an animal, since the firstborn already belongs to the Lord. Whether an ox or a sheep, it is the Lord's. If it is one of the unclean animals, he may buy it back at its value, at its set value, adding a fifth to it. If he does not redeem it, it is to be sold at its set value. But nothing that a man owns and devotes to the Lord, whether man or animal or family or land, may be sold or redeemed. Everything so devoted is most holy to the Lord. No person devoted to destruction may be ransomed. He must be put to death. Oh, we're almost done with Leviticus. A tithe of everything from the land, whether grain from the soil or fruit from the trees, belongs to the Lord. It is holy to the Lord. If a man redeems any of his tithe, he must add a fifth of the value to it. The entire tithe of the herd and flock, every 10th animal that passes under the shepherd's rod, will be holy to the Lord. He must not pick out the good from the bad or make any substitution. If he does make a substitution, both the animal and its substitute become holy and cannot be redeemed. These are the commands the Lord gave Moses on Mount Sinai for the Israelites. So, all right, that was only a 6-minute reading. One chapter, chapter 27. I couldn't help when I was reading this to think about my brother Sefi. He was 17, 1971. He was shot. And just kind of give you a little background. It was over cattle. I'm not sure if we're the ones that had the bulls or the neighbors had the bulls, but I think we did. And the neighbors' cows were in heat. Anyhow, I guess our cattle were busting the fence, so my dad fixed it, and then it happened again. And then this guy was arguing with my dad, and they're at about the gate of the entrance to our property. And he was very rude. My dad said, you don't talk to us like that. Get out of here. And the guy wouldn't leave. So my dad told my brother to go get the 410. As my brother was walking probably 25, 30 yards toward the car, the other guy grabbed a 30-30 or 30-06 and shot my brother in the back and killed him. And why did I bring that up? Well, because I was thinking, it says that the firstborn of everything belongs to God. So you have 3 kids, 1 kid, 5 kids, the firstborn back then. And now, while I'm thinking, reading this, I'm thinking, Sefi, my brother, 17, very good guy. I heard. I never knew him, but just a great heart. He was taken, and my mom and dad suffered from the loss. Murdered. And then, gosh, how many years later? 46 years later, my dad dies. And my niece, Jermaine, said that she felt like as soon as he died, the first one that my dad saw was Jesus, but then Jesus, the first one he introduced my dad to was his son. 46 years. The whole redeeming thing. This term is very important because in Christian circles a lot of time, or anything, you could be in the doctor circle, biologies, electrical engineering. You could be in different circles, and it almost appears like the other circle is speaking a different language, right? So if you were to go into electrical engineering and someone said, how many columns, or what is one column, right? Well, I know, but probably 90% of the people out there, if I were to ask them what is a column, And what's this mathematical expression? Without looking on Google, they probably wouldn't get close. Now, I think I would get close myself, but it's been a while. But at least I know what it is. And my point is this, is that there's vocabulary, right, for certain areas of life. Engineering vocabulary, physiology, biology, it could be anatomy, types of vocabularies. So one of the big, huge, important vocabulary things in the Christian circle is redeem, redeem. Yeah, it's a very it's a huge theme. I was about to say it's a very important theme. It's a huge theme. It's from the beginning, from Genesis. Remember Adam and Eve and the devil, Satan, the serpent, and at that point they were gods, but they traded themselves in almost, and so now God's got to redeem them. He's got to pay for them. Jesus redeemed us from our sins. He redeemed me. Jesus redeems us. So what is redeem? It's like you pay for that person to get them away from this slavery or this bad situation, to bring them into your household, into your ranch or whatever you want to call it, your operation. And so Jesus paid for us the price that no one will pay for us, not even your father or mother. He paid for us with his own blood during a passionate death and fight for us. So that is chapter 27, Leviticus. I'm excited. We are going into the exciting book of Numbers. And really, I say that because there's a lot of like family censuses, right? This is the descendants of Judah. This is the Levites, the Nazarene, the Nazarite vows. But it goes into, let's see, in 9, talking about the Passover, silver trumpets. So actually, a lot of times the beginning part of Numbers is kind of, it's like reading a census. Go to the courthouse and say, hey, I'd like to have a census. And it's almost like a census, but it's very important. And I'll tell you this before I close this out. It's important for this reason. Is a lot of the prophecies that prophesy, that foretell. Okay, so a lot of the ways people foretold what was going to happen was through these people called prophets. And so if a person said, let's see, if a person says that he will be born in the city of Bethlehem, the city of David, and then he will be born of a virgin, and then another prophet says that, what's another foretelling of the birth of Christ? His star will be in the sky. All these different little prophecies, right? Many of them are related to the lineages. So Jesus or the Messiah was always known to be, was known to have to become, or was known to how do I say it? The Messiah was known to have a certain lineage to be the Messiah. So he couldn't be some guy from Kenya, or he couldn't be like me from New Mexico or wherever my ancestors came from, Europe. He had to be from the lineage of David. And so these lineages actually, they verify, and they're so precise. That's another thing about this Bible, is is so precise. And people who say otherwise, like, oh, it's just a bunch of writing. Well, let me ask you this. Tell me from your birth or your kid's birth going back, tell me every single name of your parents, their parents, their parents, their parents, and their parents and their kids, all the way to say, we'll just say 14 generations. All right. The Bible does it. Bet you can't. Bet you can. If you can, challenge me. And I feel a little confident. I will reward you with. See, what could I reward you with? In the United States, if two people can do it, I'll reward you with $20 each. If one person can go more than 14 generations back with the names of each of your forefathers and their kids, I'll double it to $50, more than double it. All right, so I'm going to close out Leviticus. Thank you for listening. Check out schooloflight.org. And if you want some, let me know and we'll send them to you in the mail. Have a good day.